Okay, I'm going to run through a few examples of how to multiply two fractions together. We'll start off with some fairly basic ones. We'll look at how we come to our answer, and then we'll extend that to some slightly harder ones. Okay, so our first example we're going to look at is a half multiplied by a half. Okay, another way of thinking about this is what is 1/2 of a half. Okay, so if I was to quickly draw a diagram, let's do 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Okay, in that diagram, I am going to split in half, and then I'm going to find half of that half. That you should hopefully be able to envision what's going to happen. So first of all, let's split this diagram in half. So you should be happy that one of these regions represents a half. Now I want to find a half of that half. Well, let's split our rectangle in half the other way. And if originally we were looking at this area, this half, when I found half of that half, I'm just looking at this one rectangle, which you should be able to see from this whole square is just a quarter. Okay, now in terms of numbers, what we are doing here is we are taking our numerator and multiplying it together, and we're taking our denominator and multiplying it together, and that gets us to our answer. Okay, this is always the case. This is a quick diagram to illustrate an easy case, but this is always how it works. You take your two numerators, you multiply them together, you get your new numerator, you take your two denominators, multiply them together, and you get your new denominator. Okay, once you're at this point where you've got an answer, that's when you look to see, or you can look to see if you can simplify. We'll look at another method in the next video of when you can simplify during your calculation, but in the meantime we're just going to multiply them out and then look to see if we can simplify. Okay, so that's example number one. We've got half times a half gives us a quarter. So following on from that, let's have another quick example. We're going to have a third times a half. So what is half of a third? Well, you would do 1 times 1, that's the two numerators multiplied together, and then 3 times 2, the two denominators together, which gives us let's do it down here. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, can that be simplified? Well, we've got 1 as the numerator, so it cannot be simplified any further than that. Okay, let's have a second example just here. We're going to look at 2 over 5 multiplied by 3 over 5. Okay, so again, multiply our numerators together. 2 times 3. Multiply our denominators together. 5 times 5. 2 times 3 gives us 6. 5 times 5 gives us 25. Okay, now it's not, this kind of a question would not be lots of marks, so it is okay for you, once you're confident, just to go straight from here to here. I'm just illustrating the working out with my method. Right, I'll do two more quick examples. Let's have a third one. So we're going to have 2 over 5 multiplied by 1 over 4, or a quarter. Okay, same rule applies. Multiply the top together and multiply the bottom together. 5 times 4. Okay, so now we have 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, now we can have a look at how this answer is different from the others. The 2 and the 20 both share a factor, so we can divide them both by 2, giving us a final answer of 1/10. So in this case, you can see we hadn't finished after this first multiplication. We found a common factor, and we can divide through by that common factor to get a final answer. Okay, these two answers are equivalent. Okay, this isn't an incorrect answer, it's just not fully simplified. So if a question asks for it to be fully simplified, then it would be incorrect, and this would be the correct answer. But you may as well simplify your fractions whenever you can to try and make your life a bit easier. Let's have a look at a fourth example. We're going to have 3 over 8 multiplied by 4 over 9. So again, multiply our numerators together, multiply our denominators together. That's going to give us, well, 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 9, well, 10 times 8 is 80. Take away an 8, it's going to be 72. Okay, they're both even, so let's start off by halving them. Divide the top by 2, gives us 6. Divide the bottom by 2 is going to give us 36. Okay, we're still both even, so we can half this again. I'm going to have to go down here. Half of 6 gives us 3. Half of 36 is going to give us 18. Okay, then we have an odd and an even, so we can't halve them anymore. Let's check 3 times table. Well, 3 is definitely in the 3 times table. 18 is also in the 3 times table. So we can divide the top by 3 to give us 1. And we can divide the bottom by 3. 18 divided by 3 gives us 6. To get a final answer of 1/6. Okay, there is another method where you can cancel as you do your multiplication, which can make it slightly easier. We'll have a look at it in the next video. But at its core, if you can multiply them both together and then simplify your fraction, you should still get to the correct answer.